Hello everyone. Today we will discuss one of the important topic under Foreign Exchange Management Act. In Foreign Exchange Management Act, the most important thing is only international commercial transactions will be viewed at. Those international commercial transactions are basically divided to two parts in Foreign Exchange Management Act. The first important part is current account transactions and the second important part is capital account transaction. First, we should try to understand the difference between current account transactions and capital account transactions. We all know, like basically if we want to talk, current account transactions are day to day in nature, they are recurring and the effect of it will be only related to profit and loss account. Capital account transactions are not of day to day in nature, they will be spread across various financial years and generally it will go and sit in balance sheet. So that's why capital account transaction is defined to mean it is any transaction which alters the assets and liabilities, whereas current account transactions are of day-to-day nature, which is recurring, which is always limited to a particular financial year and restricted to profit and loss account. This is how basically we can understand current account and capital account. If you look at the provisions of Foreign Exchange Management Act, the same way if a person, specifically like we will find the definition of person, like he might be an individual or it might be HUF or it might be a company. Any category of person, if he wants to enter into current account transactions, specifically Reserve Bank of India will look into this particular matter and say how the permissions are given. For all international commercial transactions, specifically if it is a current account transaction, then there is outward remittance of money. So outward remittance in the sense like from India money is going abroad and that has to be strictly regulated. How the regulation is done specifically in the current account transactions, they have come out with one of the important schedule or they have come out with the rules. So in the rules specifically for Foreign Exchange Management Act permissible current account transactions rules, in which there are three important schedules. Schedule 1 talks about what are current account transactions which are basically prohibited. Schedule 2 talks about current account transactions which requires Government of India approval, and Schedule 3 of the rules what I am talking about will talk about what are the current account transactions which require Reserve Bank of India approval. This is most important because current account transactions has to be strictly regulated, because whenever the money is going out of India under current account transactions or of day to day in nature, whatever money which has gone outside India will never come back. That is, I want to introduce a concept here. It is called non-repatriation transactions. Non-repatriation transactions means which will never return to the country of origin. So these current account transactions are regulated. So the regulation will happen through the rules, and in the rules it will happen according to the schedules which is given in the rules. So here the schedules are very important. If the current account transactions are falling under Schedule 1, for example, remittance out of lottery winnings, or remittance out of any games or prohibited magazines or sweepstakes, like that, there are specific points which is being given in Schedule 1. Those transactions are basically prohibited, and if any person in India, if he earns money through the prohibited current account transactions, he will not be allowed to take that money outside India. It has to be spent or it has to be utilized in the Indian financial system itself. The second important schedule in current account transactions talks about which requires Government of India approval. Take for example, if Ministry of Tourism is developing, specifically like if some Government of India related travel is happening or some sports persons are taking abroad, then specific ministry's approval has to be taken before participating in those particular programs or for taking any money outside India in terms of foreign exchange for the purpose of spending. The most important schedule is the third schedule, which talks about current account transactions which require Reserve Bank of India approval. So under current account transactions which require Reserve Bank of India approval, there are two important facilities available. One is available for individuals and the other one is available for non-individuals. Individuals are allowed to enter into any current account transactions up to US dollar 2,50,000 in a particular financial year. This is called liberalized remittance scheme for all current account transactions. It might be travel abroad, or it might be education abroad, or it might be medical treatment abroad, or maintenance of close relatives abroad. There are various categories of current account transactions. All current account transactions put together for a particular individual, US dollar 2,50,000 is the limit which is applicable per financial year. For non-individuals, for donations there is a different limit, and for maintenance of their hospital or their specific apartments, or it might be commercial spaces, it depending on what the nature of transaction, and the limits are different for non-individuals. That has to be specifically looked into. So generally speaking, current account transactions are viewed it in this way, that specifically the rules will govern the regulations relating to the current account transactions. Thank you.